it's summer. I got my legally purchased beer, my roommate's underwear on, and my premium subscription for Spotify ready to go. Time to start making music before I start sweating so much that I have to take a break. Have you ever heard a song that's made definitely by someone who was asleep when they recorded it? Focus here being on production. Of course, the idea being to make that sound okay. You see, this genre is not made by a band in a room trying to figure out a song playing at the same time. It's more of like a singer-songwriter in their bedroom trying to make pop music.
That's it. Finished the last banger of the album. Can't wait to see the documentaries about this very moment.
So before I circle back to this being production, I'm going to go through some of this pretty quick. The first thing you need to do is last video I did, it was amazingly simple. Because what's more punk rock than not learning how to play your instrument? This time though, it's a little more complex. Whatever chord you start off with, usually that indicates what scale you're using. If we use chords with notes within that scale, or diatonic, usually we can assume that's going to sound pretty good. But using chords with non-diatonic notes is a quick way to add some spice.
Hey, sexy.
For example, in D major, you have E minor and A major. But if we want to change things up a little bit, let's say like E sharp minor and A minor, that is a completely different thing. Also, one of my favorite things that they do in this type of music a lot is called pedal point or pedal tone, where one note stays the same and the rest of the chords change while that note is still playing. And in your head, you don't really think of that note as dissonant, even though some of those other chords might not fit together so well. But since it's been ringing that whole time, you don't really think of it as an odd note out. And a really good example of that is in
Sorry, it seems I must have fallen asleep while recording this video. Silly me. Well, anyway.
Your drums are just for texture. You don't want to use any fills because you're using a drum machine, but you can't switch up the sounds from like an 808 to a live drum set sound. In bass, you can go from really funky to like pedal point type stuff, which is more or less what I went with. In terms of effects though, they're complete opposites. Drums are covered in reverb and low pass filters, and bass is dries and desert. Hey, remember back there when I said low pass filters? Yeah, so sound is a spectrum, right? You got low and high frequencies. Low pass filter basically just kind of lets all the low frequencies through, so you can't really hear the high frequencies. Ha! You guys thought I was in my kitchen. Joke's on you. It's also a studio. Ha! Some might say it makes things sound like they're underwater or inside a basement. There's a lot of good examples.
Oh, dang it, not again.
It's like ASMR, but with some melody and some borderline cringy lyrics. As long as you sound as tired as you look.
From Cumberland Bridges, watching cityscapes turn to dust.
Huh? I'm sorry, I could not hear that at all. Huh? Excuse me?
I'm such a romantic.
What did you say?
I never remember how things really happen.
What was that?
Unless you're attractive or something.
What? Huh?
As for lyrics, you got some range, some really corny stuff, some stuff about mental illness or some actual tough relationship issues or songs that don't even make sense, as long as you can actually hear what they're trying to say.
With both guitar and keyboard, there's a bunch of stuff you can do since they're both chordal instruments. There's a lot of fun extensions you can do and that sort of thing. But they're both drowned in a bunch of effects. Usually it's low pass or high pass filters, but there's a bunch of stuff you can do. Probably, most likely delay. But not too much. If you want to take a really quick, just keep going forever. Reverb to make it sound like it's in a big room. Chorus to make things sound thicker. Flangers and phasers to make things feel absolutely bonkers. And you could have a field day with this stuff. And some people actually do.
We don't have to know anyone at all. Anyone at all. Oye, cariño, solo pienso en ti. When I wake up in the morning until I go back to sleep. How I wish you were mine. I think of you all the time. I always feel like I'm flying, baby. My girl, my girl, my girl. You will be my girl.
I also want to point out that this genre, as opposed to most of the other ones that I've talked about, is pretty diverse. I guess probably given that it is the newest one out of, let's say, ᵇᵉ, Boy Pablo, Via Badooey, ᵇᵉ, Girl in Red, The Marias, Cigarettes After Sex, Cave Town, Tempo Rex, No Vacation, Melanie Martinez. They are all either Hispanic, Latino, queer, a person of color, etc. So, you know, compared to like classic punk rock, it's a little bit less one note. So I mean, good for them, good for us, I guess. Good for everyone. Also, this bucket head does not fit me at all. I could only get it about that far in. It just won't go around the rest of my head. I remember in 2013 when Arctic Monkeys came out with AM, Halsey started getting big on Tumblr, Lorde came out with Pure Heroin, was lording it up everywhere, and I was in like the end of high school. And I remember telling all my friends that all this music that sounds like it's really tired is going to be big, and that all the music is starting to go from like a really big party, LMFAO, Skrillex, EDM, to like really tired, small sounding things that sound like really tired and really sleepy. And fast forward in the year of our Lord, 2021, and the fucking biggest pop star in the world can't even keep her freaking eyes open. And I wish I would have started making music like this back then. But the thing is, until very recently, I did not even like that. Anything that was below 100 BPMs, out. Anything that wasn't screaming, out. Anything that wasn't distorted beyond belief, out. But you know, I kind of like it now. So does a lot of people. That's a good time. Helps me fall asleep.
It